Well, Liam, the 80 minutes are up and we're looking at a scoreline in the Aviva Stadium of 56-19. 8 tries scored as opposed to 9 last year, 9 the year before. About par. At times it was pretty facile, a bit like a training run. Italy brought a lightweight pack and a lightning quick backline who always looked like they had tries in them and got 3. But more annoying for Joe Schmidt even than the loss of shape when the bench came on and the concession of 3 tries. 2 very costly injuries. This came at an expensive cost. Tadhg Furlong looked like a hammer. Props don't recover from hamstring injuries in 2 weeks. And poor Robbie Henshaw, it looked like a dislocated shoulder. He was receiving oxygen, although he declined the stretcher coming off. It looked like a bad one, which is a shame because you're having a really good game alongside Bundyaki in midfield. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's interesting. Italy scored 3 tries when Bonnie went off, the number 13, who I just think has just been, he's a target, isn't he? He's a target. And Ireland scored 8 tries, of which maybe 4 or 5 they absolutely earned with some really clever plays. The best of all was Keith Earls, the counter-attack try that Bundyaki hit in midfield and didn't have a preordained pass. Held it, showed and goal, carried the ball in 2 hands and then release Keith Earls.
That's when Boney shot up on the outside and forced him to go inside almost again by doing it again. Exactly. A very bad defender,
but
Boney.
McGrath had a great double hit with Levy and McGrath.
Yes.
Turn over the ball, 2 passes into Aki Sands to score. But there's still loads for the video nerds to sit down and go, hang on, Ireland, they'll be furious at the tries they scored. And
particularly the third one, lame, loose kick by Carberry, poor chase, repeat of the Paris error in some respect. Your man, Matteo Minozzi, the fullback, he's only 21. It's only his second outing in the fullback, it's only his 5th cap. Never was the more deserving away try scorer at this ground. He is a find. He looks class.
Absolutely.
Footwork, lines are running, knows how to hit a line. I don't know why he was playing centre and wing in November, but he's had 2 games at fullback and he's been outstanding for them. He's the youngest player starting on the pitch. He's there, Jordan Larmour, and he stood up Larmour, and then to set up the try for Eduardo Gori, and then he's finished outside Larmour at the end. I wouldn't be too critical of Larmour though. There was some lovely dancing footwork of his own. We saw that he's our classy up and coming kid, no doubt about it. But it's good to see Italy have one too.
Actually, your point is exactly what I'm trying to work through my own head. Is when are the opportunities available for Ireland? And when Carberry got the ball inside his 22, he had Larmour outside him and a bunch of Italian fatties. If he had given the ball to Larmour, he would have ran the length of the field. He chose to kick, which was either decision was good.
Yeah.
But Larmour then was exposed to the fancy feet. If he had passed the ball out, and I think that's part of what I was looking at. Certainly in the opening parts of the game, Ireland attacked one way and then rewound into midfield. And I couldn't quite figure it out because the pace for the opening 40-50 minutes that Ireland brought to the game was sufficient to keep going the same way and just lose the Italian players behind.
I want to ask you, a lot of debate about the 10, 12, 13 axis. It only ever played twice together before. Last Sunday, suddenly we were told these 3 can't create space on the outside. Yet they created tries for winners against South Africa. Did again today. The pity is that Henshaw's now gone, but what did you think of it?
When Aki plays just his natural game, as we saw for the counter-attack try they gave Gerald, I think he's creative, he's powerful, he's strong.
Good game.
When he's playing within the structured system, and a lot of ball went down, and that's partly because Italy did get off the line and that, but the preordained moves, I'm not quite sure, are they as comfortable as a unit just yet. Ideally you'd want Gary Ringrose, wouldn't you, at 13, and then you're either going to go for one of the big boys at 12. I'm not so sure it is going to unlock space against like the challenge of England, the challenge of Wales, and who knows how Scotland will be when they come here. But obviously Wales and England are going to be the 2 big games.
The likelihood is now,
we're not going to have that unit again.
No, we're not. The likelihood is that with no Robbie Henshaw and Gary Ringrose there, what would have been Ireland's first choice midfield, it's probably going to be Bundyaki and Chris Farrell. Yeah. All right. Cheers. That's a wrap.